The SEC in America has sued the two biggest crypto exchanges in the world, Binance and Coinbase. Binance has got 13 charges against it. In effect, it's saying that it's been running a legal exchange. Its structure by CZ is seen to be as something that in effect is creating a structure which is illegal. Of course, the court will finally decide what the outcome is, but the SEC are adamant that it is an illegal exchange. In fact, they applied to the court to freeze the assets of Binance. So if you have money in Binance, then it's been advised by many commentators to take your money off before it's frozen. Of course, the court made the final decision, but that does seem sensible advice. So who gains? Is it Coinbase? Well, they're being sued as well. Perhaps it's a lighter charge, but nevertheless, it's massive action against Coinbase. Coinbase has reacted, has indeed Binance, but Coinbase in particular says they will defend the industry. They will stand up for what's right. So what's underneath it? Well, first of all, we have to look at, is something a security? In other words, if you have a token, which is what it's referred to in the crypto industry, is that a security? Of course, there's been a whole long delay. And if anybody was critical of the SEC, then people would say, well, they didn't explain it. But the facts, and I'm in the financial industry, are they don't have to explain. They have to enforce whatever regulations there are. And it's up to them how they interpret it. Could they have been quicker? In other words, nothing's been done for a number of years. Why now? Well, certainly we've seen with FTX that you can have a crypto exchange and people can lose money because it's not well regulated. When we look at securities in the financial industry, when we look at shares, then we need to give proper descriptions. It's been accused of both Coinbase and indeed Binance that their descriptions of the products, the tokens, weren't clear. So whether it's the financial industry or whether it's any industry, transparency, of course, is important. But in the financial industry, it's even more important. We're seeing that particular tokens are being attacked. Bitcoin is left out of the attack. In other words, and it's been said previously by the SEC, it's seen as a commodity. So in other words, it's regulated as a commodity, whereas other things are seen, other tokens are seen as a security. So just apply, it's a Canada law, it's not American law, but it's a sensible law. If it looks like and acts like, is it? Okay, in other words, all right, is it acting like a security? Then potentially the regulator could say, well, it is. Okay, well, is there anything wrong with regulation? Well, of course, I run a very highly regulated global advisory company. Okay, actually, there's nothing wrong with it. So why avoid it? Okay, reality is that Coinbase would argue, and they have a point, that they applied for regulation, but actually they were unable to be regulated. So if we look at it perhaps from an impartial point of view, first of all, crypto industry is changed forever. Why? You got regulations. Is that good or bad? I'm going to say that ultimately that's good. Why? Because you can't just have people in a financial industry operating without some sort of regulations. In other words, we have to have some regulations. Of course, different people, different countries regulate in different ways. And I'd have my own opinion on that with a smile on my face on who's a good regulator. Ultimately, the US right now is going to lose out. Why? Because it wanted to be at the forefront of the digitalization of financial assets. Now it becomes difficult for the innovators to be in America. Other regulators, of course, around the world will be paying, rightly, massive attention to what's going on in the US. Who's got issues? Binance has got the biggest issue. Coinbase, they're in a fight. Actually, I think that Coinbase will come out okay. If we look at cryptocurrencies, then Bitcoin seems to be separated. The price has hardly moved. It seems to be in an asset class on its own. Ethereum, it's not really mentioned. The jury's out. Other tokens seem to be, by the SEC, in general, accused of being securities. It's an interesting world. No one can deny that. I would say, give me a follow. I keep you up to date. I believe in regulation. Watch out for good regulated exchanges coming out that actually give you the opportunity of digitalization of assets with some regulation. It's going to be a new world. It's going to be a better world. I promise you, you're going to get ultimately from this, after some volatility, you're actually going to get a better, improved financial industry. It's my opinion. You'll have yours. You're welcome to leave a comment below.